Hello and welcome to the Knee Deep in Stitches knitting, crochet, and whatever crafty thing I am currently doing podcast. I know that it has been over a year since I've been on here. I've had a lot of life changes. If I remember correctly, I spent about a week in the hospital, and then after that I just kind of focused on myself and getting myself to a place where I was more comfortable, happier, in a better place. I was in a lot of therapy. You know, I was trying to figure out medications, all of this stuff. So it was a lot. And now I'm just over 6 months pregnant. I'm due with a little girl in December. I'm super excited. This will be my first child. I'm excited, I'm nervous, I'm everything you can be expecting your first child. So it's going to be a very interesting kind of way I'm going to go about doing these podcasts. I am planning on only doing a podcast maybe once a month. Maybe sometimes I'll get 2 out if we're lucky. I know this month I'm probably going to get a couple of episodes out, not necessarily a podcast, but I have quite a few acquisitions, and then I have quite a few more coming, just because I was able to purchase a lot of yarn, and I was like, you know, once baby girl's here, I'm not gonna be able to do that. Just because, you know, finances are going to change and things are going to be geared more towards her. I also want to apologize about my lighting currently. I dropped my 2 lights that I usually use because I am super clumsy, and I broke the bulbs. So I have 2 bulbs coming on their way from Amazon. I'm just waiting for those. So I do apologize that my lighting is not the best. Also, you'll hear our dogs. I have 3 dogs. I have a husky lab mix named Osa. The one you hear barking is our puppy who's almost a year old. That's Zuko. He is a German Shepherd, cattle dog, husky mix. And the husky has definitely taken over in his vocal abilities. And then we have an Australian Shepherd who is clingy and probably laying right outside the door right now because I won't let him in here because some of the yarns that I have, he's like, oh, is that a toy? I swear he's part cat. But I'm so happy to be back. I really am. I'm happy to be crocheting and knitting and doing everything like that again. And I'll let you know what I'm wearing. I made a drop knit sweater. I only did like 3/4 sleeves, and they're kind of baggy. I would probably change this and make these a little bit closer, but this is one of the things that I knitted in the past that currently fits my pregnant body. So I'm wearing it. I live in Arizona. It is not cold outside, but it's freezing in our house. But we're in that weird time where we turn the air conditioning off and it's going to be way too hot in the house. We leave the air conditioning on and it's going to be cold. Like, it makes no sense. So yeah, I mean, if I go anywhere, I'm probably going to change my shirt, but I'm super happy that this fits. I really like it. I made it out of a Caron cake in colors that I absolutely love. The front has a drop stitch panel towards the top, and then the rest is stockinette, and then all on the back are drop stitches, just like on the sleeve here, if you can see that. Okay, without further ado, let's get into some more yarny content. I'm gonna start off with my one and only finished object. So I finished this maybe a couple of weeks ago, maybe longer than that. I am not 100% sure. But I just crocheted a granny square blanket for my daughter. I made this before I knew I was having a girl, but this just reminds me of sunflowers. I don't know if anyone else sees it, but it just, the colors remind me of sunflowers. Again, I apologize about the lighting. It's probably gonna come in and out. I tried facing the window and it completely washed me out. So we're just trying something else. But this is just a granny square blanket. It's not huge. I did it in more neutral colors because, again, when I started this, I had just found out I was pregnant and didn't know if I was having a boy or a girl, so I wanted to make sure it could be used for either. And I absolutely love this. I mean, I love it. It is using one of the mandala cakes. I think this is Siren. If anyone knows what this is, let me know. I tried looking it up online, but I think it's Siren. I could be wrong. Could be completely wrong. I was looking for the label and I could not find it anywhere. Totally frustrating. I mean, story of my life right now. My craft room is crazy right now because we just recently got the floors done in our house and we moved a bunch of stuff in here, and my husband and I have not moved a lot of it back. We just have not had the time between getting the nursery ready, getting other things organized. He's trying to organize the garage so we can move a lot of stuff out of here. Walking the dogs, taking care of my chickens because I have 6 chickens that I absolutely love. And yeah, it's just been a lot going on. But anyway, finished object, super happy with it. It washed up super soft because I washed it because I was like, I didn't want it to be scratchy. And I mean, I was planning on washing it anyway before she got here, but I was like, I need to see if this is going to soften up, because if it didn't soften up, I wasn't going to use it for her. I don't want her to have scratchy blankets, but it softened up quite a bit. So yeah, just a simple granny square blanket. Okay. Okay, so now let's get into the whips. I have several whips. I have crochet whips, I have knitting whips, and I have one sewing whip slash quilt. It's not really a quilt. I mean, it kind of is, but it's not. I'll explain. When you see it, it'll make more sense because it's not a pieced quilt. That's what I mean. Okay, so this first one here, I am making, let's see if I can get it to show better. I'm making, it's in a brown, so it's probably not going to, but I'm making a little cocoon for my daughter. I'm hoping, I don't know what's in my eye. I'm hoping that I will be able to have this finished before she's here because I do want to take pictures of her at about 2 weeks in it. It's going to be an Eevee cocoon, like the Pokemon. I'll put a picture up for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about. It's a cute little fox. And I am just doing this in, it's double crocheted. I don't know. You can kind of see it. I don't know. But it's double crocheted all the way up. I found a pattern or a tutorial here on YouTube. I'll try and find it and link it down below for the cocoon portion. But the yarn I'm using, let me grab it. Sorry for the yarn I'm using for the brown is this right. The yarn I'm using for this brown color is right here. It is actually one of the skein tones from Lion Brand. Has 185 yards. It's going to take 2 for the cocoon and probably 1.5 for her little hat, because I'm going to do the hat with ears, and then the rest of it's going to go towards a detachable tail for the pictures, because I do want to be able to use this as just like a sleep sack cocoon, but it's in cocoa. And then I have a lighter color, a cream, for the inside of the ears, the end of the tail, and a little like tuft that I'm going to fold over on the cocoon. But yeah, so Eevee is a hint at her name. We're going to name her Evelyn. I've always loved that name, and we're most likely going to call her Eevee because it's cute. But this is my first whip. It's almost done. I'm making it on a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. This is an eye hook. I'm using a boy one. I had a crochet hook with a softer grip that I was using, and I cannot find it anywhere. And it's my favorite one, and it's so comfy, but can't find it. So yeah, that's the first whip I have. The next one, I just put it in this cute little clear bag. One thing about me, I don't have a lot of project bags. I don't actually like purchasing project bags. I'm fine with being gifted project bags. People want to gift me project bags. This I'm actually repurposing from excuse me. This I am repurposing from, I believe what was in here was cloth diapers. Because I plan on cloth diapering just because, I don't know, it's something I've wanted to do for a while. So I just put this in here, and I like that it's clear because it reminds me that I have this project. I started this project maybe a week ago. The yarn, so this yarn, isn't that so pretty? I think it's so pretty. This yarn is Golo. I was gifted this yarn. I'm not really sure where I got it, but I do not, the more I knit with this, the more I'm like, this is not 75% wool and 25% nylon. It does not have like the slickness that a nylon yarn has. This has to be 100% wool. I tried to knit socks with it, which was a mistake because this is like a single ply, and that's just not gonna work with this. But anyway, it doesn't have a color name, it has a color number, and it's 5-017, and then there are 546 yards. But I like the yarn, I like the color. It reminded me of my best friend. So it is, it called to go to her. But anyway, I was going to originally knit socks. It did not work out. It was tragic. The yarn kept splitting, breaking. And so I was like, you know what? Let's make her like a shawl or a shawlette, and she can wear it however she wants. But this is what I have going on. I think it is so pretty. It's so light, and it's gonna be so warm. And one thing that I'm kind of playing around with this, and this is just a triangle shawl. I'm not doing anything super fancy. I am changing it up because it's going to have kind of like an elongated body. I don't know, it's just how I knit / crochet things. But I started off with a US size 4 on my Knit Picks interchangeable needles here. And then I switched it to, I believe, a size 8. And then I worked it up to the size 10 needles I'm using now. And then, if you can see this lacy portion here, I started crocheting, and I'm crocheting with a 3.75 millimeter crochet hook. And I've always loved combining knitting and crochet. So doing this in this project has been so fun. I basically, in order to do that, I have to cast off all of the knit stitches. So I cast them off, and then I go through and crochet, and then I go back in and pick up stitches. Casting off and picking up stitches are not my very favorite things to do. I feel like they're so tedious, but I mean, I love it. I really like it. I hope she likes it. Yeah, so essentially it's garter stitch, and then I'm doing fancy things when I crochet, and then garter stitch. And it's very mindless until I get to the crochet part. So I really like it while I'm watching TV or doing anything like that. So yeah, just a fun project. I am hoping that when I wash and block this, that it softens just a little bit. It's not super scratchy, but I would just like it to be softer. I love really soft wool yarns, and this one's a little bit on the toothier side. Put this back in this makeshift project bag. Oh, those dogs. The next current whip, let me find, because I'm always like in the middle of a row or starting a row. It's never in like a convenient place. I'm making, sorry, I showed you the back. I'm making another granny square blanket. This one's going to be a lot bigger because I was like, you know, a nice floor blanket I think would be a good idea. And I'm just using yarn that I had in my stash. This is nothing new. I'm using the Roll With It tweed. Sorry, trying to get it to focus. I had to play with my settings to get it to like show me better in this light, but it's been a whole thing with my camera today. This is the Red Heart Roll With It tweed. It's 100% acrylic, 296 yards. I'm on my second cake of it because I am making this quite big. That, and I want to use the yarn up. And this is in Sunset. It's pinks, purples, slight oranges, peachy hues, and I really like it. So I'm using this, as well as, if you see this pink color, just the solid pink, that is a Joanne Big Twist in hot pink. And I have 2 balls of that in my stash currently, because I used it for something else. I think I used it for a top that I made out of Bag O' Day Crochet's, one of her patterns. But yeah, I'm trying to use up a lot of my acrylic in my stash for different things. And yeah, I know that this will wash up super soft because I have used this in the past to make hats and things. And I am just doing this on a oh, sorry, my allergies are a mess, and I think pregnancy has made them worse. But I'm using this on a 5mm crochet hook and just kind of going with it. And so far so good. It's almost done. All right, I'm back. This is in a makeup bag. See, I just have random bags that I use for project bags. Okay, so what is in here? A pair of socks that I'm working on. I'm making myself some Halloween socks. I'm following the Crazy Sock Ladies vanilla sock pattern. I like knitting vanilla socks. I tried to do a pattern sock and I just got frustrated because I like to sit and make my socks when I'm watching TV. It's just easier for me. But this is in one of the Crazy Sock Ladies sock turtle yarns from last year, and Lola, that's the variegated name. It also came with an orange mini, a 20-gram mini. So I did 64 stitches to start off, and then I did 10 rows of 2x2 ribbing. I didn't want to do a large one because I'm making these a little bit shorter. I did 25 rows for the leg, heel flap, and gusset right here. And then I am doing, I think, 70 or 75 rows for my foot. Usually I don't have to go that long, but I'm using my ChowGoo interchangeables, and these are US size 0, 2mm. So they are quite small and the gauge is a little bit different. But one thing I should also note, I went from 64 stitches to 72, somewhere right in here just before I did everything else, because my foot currently, pregnancy has done weird things to my feet. It's fascinating the changes your body goes through, but to get it to fit, I had to widen it at one point in my foot, and then as it gets to the toes or like the middle of my foot, it's going to be an interesting thing because I'm kind of playing with the fit of this sock. But I have been wanting to use this yarn for a very long time, and I finally cast it off, or cast it on, and yeah. So I am probably going to finish the sock today. It's not going to take me very long. I've been working on these here and there for the last 2 weeks because I've kind of been rotating through everything I have going on. But yeah, but I'm going to have, after these socks, I'm still going to have a ton of this left. So I might make somebody else a pair of shorties or something. I don't know. We'll see what I end up doing with that. Or it might go, I have a glass jar behind me that I'm just filling with my leftovers from projects and stuff that I've knitted, and once it's full, I'm gonna kind of separate it by weight and decide what I'm going to do with it. But yeah, I mean, I like it. This marker is showing how far I got from yesterday. I need to move it again because I've been moving it every day because I just want to see. But yeah, I don't know. I really like these colors. You guys will have to let me know in the comment section what you think. But I mean, so yeah, probably by the next time you see me, these will be done, which I'm excited for. They're going to be tomorrow I get to go sit down at the DMV. So they're gonna go with me, and I'm probably gonna finish this one today and start the other one tonight. That way I just have some basic knitting for a bit and then, you know, focus on harder projects outside of that. And the next thing I have, I just have it in this Yellowstone tote bag because I don't use these for anything else. But, and I will grab the yarn I'm using. So I'm trying to work through my Hobby Lobby yarn because I'm trying to work through my Hobby Lobby yarn. I'm not intending on purchasing any more yarn from Hobby Lobby. I have quite a bit. There's not really a Hobby Lobby close to me. The stores I have close to me are Michael's, Joann's. So it's just easier for me to go there anyway. So it's not really inconvenient, I guess. But I'm working on making myself a cardigan, and I absolutely love this yarn. I think it's gorgeous. I love the feel. This is going to be a very squishy cardigan. Very squishy. I'm using one of my Crazy Sock Lady stitch markers, but I'm just doing, I don't know, so the pattern, there's no pattern. I'm not following a pattern with this. I've made myself so many cardigans just by winging it that now I just kind of wing it. I wish I would have written this down because there's another yarn in my collection that I would like to use. But I started off doing, I believe this is 70 stitches in garter stitch. And then I slowly decreased it because I wanted it to have like a slope when I go to put the ribbing on. But this is what I have so far. It's not very big, and I've been working on it for maybe a half an hour each day, which with everything else I'm working on is pretty good. And these are, or this is on my Chow Goo circular needles, US size 4, 3.5 millimeter, and it's a little bit looser. I noticed if I wanted it a tighter gauge, I would definitely go down, but I kind of like that it's going to be loose. I want it to feel like I'm wearing a blanket, if that makes sense. But I really love this. The yarn I'm using, and I'll have another yarn I'll show you because I have this vision in my head for this cardigan. So essentially, it's going to be like this for a bit, and in this specific yarn, and then I'm going to switch it to a gray, and I'm going to do a very lacy bottom to the back of this cardigan, and I think it's going to be absolutely gorgeous. The vision in my head just makes me happy. Anyway, the main yarn, I guess, that I'm going to be using is this Yarn Bee authentic hand-dyed blend. This is a 50% superwash merino, 50% lyocell, so it's really slippy. Yeah, it's called Veiled Amethyst. I've had this in my collection, I want to say, for over a year now, and I'm finally getting to using it. I have 3 more of these in the hank, and then I have 2 of them that are currently wound into cakes. So I'm prepared with that. This is technically part of my acquisitions, but it goes with this project. So I have 2 skeins of this Knit Pick Stroll, and this is in Thunderhead Tonal. I just thought it would be fun, and I'm planning on kind of I'm planning on doing a like, oh gosh, I can't think of the word, but the transition I have planned for this will make it a little bit more seamless than it being like color blocked. If you guys know what I'm thinking of, put it down in the comments down below. I have no idea what I'm thinking of. But this is going to be for that lacy bit at the bottom. I'm going to do the cuffs and the ribbing in this as well. And if I need another one, I'll buy another skein. I'm not too concerned about dye lot issues, just because I'm never really concerned about that. So. But yeah, I think this is going to be very pretty with that. And this is some of the yarn I picked up. I should have enough. I don't think I'm going to have to pick up another skein, because I should have enough to do the bottom and then pick up for the ribbing all around, as well as the cuffs on the sleeve. So we'll see how it goes. If I have to pick up another one, I have to pick up another one. Oh no, yarn shopping. So I'm just going to go ahead and put these in my bag with everything else. But yeah, I'm super excited. I think this is going to be a lot of fun once it is done. My goal, and this might not happen because we'll talk about my knitting plans in a bit, but my goal is to have this finished by November. I plan on doing the Stephan West MKAL. I'm super excited. I picked up yarn for it. I am so excited about my color palette. It's totally me. But yeah, okay. Enough of that. The last whip I have going. This is not knitting or crochet. I am working on a quilted blanket. My little girl's nursery is space themed. We have an awesome mural up in there. We have stars everywhere, moon. I just love it. And it's pink. It's hot pink. That was not the color I was originally going for, but I love it. It just makes me happy going in there. Yeah, but her nursery is space themed, so I am currently just doing, I'm not doing anything fancy with this. It's literally just using yarn to hold it together. The yarn I'm using, I've had this in my collection for a while. It is the light rose color from Joann's Big Twist. I am a little concerned about how these ends are going to hold up, but I think I'm going to put like a little bit of tacky glue or something else on the ends of my little tied bits, because I'm just doing a tied blanket. And then, because I don't feel like making my own binding, I know how to make my own binding. I used to teach quilting classes at Joann's. I know how to do everything like on my own, but I was like, I do not want to make my own binding. It takes a long time. So I just purchased some of this. This is the double fold bias tape quilt binding, and this will be what's along the edge once I trim everything up. It's gonna be simple once it's done. Can't wait to use my sewing machine. I have not used my machine in months, so that'll be fun. But yeah, that's the last whip that I have. And I'm excited to have this finished and just like there, and you know, use it as a floor blanket. Just put it up in her room. It's gonna be so cute. Yeah. It says all over this little thing, it says written in the stars, and I'm so excited. Goodness, my hair's a mess. Who let me be on camera like this, mate? It's a mess. I brushed it. That's about what happened with it today. Anyway, those are my whips. As I said, I'm planning on, I need to get my phone because this is gonna tell me my plans here. I'm planning on doing the Stephan West MKAL. I'm super excited. I'm nervous because I know there's gonna be some things thrown out that I'm gonna be like, can I do this? But I also know that he does amazing like tutorials of how to do certain parts of that. So I don't think I have the right to be super nervous. The other thing, so as far as my projects go, I'm planning on doing that. I will show you the yarns I'm going to use because I have a huge stash of acquisitions and I have more yarn coming. I have a problem. But I have not been able to buy this much yarn in a very long time, so I like jumped at the chance. I'll also have my Ravelry link down below with my project pages. I'm also trying to upload I cannot talk today, to upload all of my stash onto Ravelry. That is going to take quite a bit of time, but I like being able to see it on Ravelry and going, oh, I have that. Okay, I can make this with that. Versus me trying to dig through my stash, which is just a nightmare right now. But on Ravelry, you can see the whips I'm working on. You can see some past items I've created. I haven't uploaded everything that I've made, but I digress. It has my current whips on there. I'm proud of just that. And then it has some of the yarns I have in stash. I'm still getting those. But the other project I'm wanting to cast on this year, I don't know if it'll get done this year just because I don't know if I'm gonna have the time. It's a sweater, and I'll insert a picture of this sweater that I'm wanting to make as well as a link to the pattern because it is a free pattern. And I've seen a few other like creators and knitters on here on YouTube make this sweater, and it has just made me want to make it. It's called the Calliope. It has this gorgeous ribbed yoke. I think it's a 3x2 ribbing that goes down pretty far. I like that. And then it's just stockinette, basic like top down construction. I think I can handle that. It's been a while since I've like done anything this way. A lot of my projects currently have been like done in like pieces and then I have to sew it together. So I'm really looking forward to not having to do that. So I will put a picture up just so you guys can see it. It's a beautiful, beautiful pattern, and I will also have it linked in the description box along with my Ravelry. That way you guys can see, you know, updates on projects if you're curious or you want to friend me on Ravelry. That's cool too. I like seeing what other people are working on. It makes me very, very happy. So without further ado, let's get into acquisitions. Do you guys see this box? There's quite a bit of yarn in here. So the first thing I want to talk about, I was gifted this. I want it. I was gifted this. It's purple. It's really dark, so you probably can't see, but it's like an embossed leather journal. But I was looking at this and I was like, this will be perfect for knitting. It will be. It has graph paper in it. You guys see the graph paper in it? It has just lined paper in it. Pulling it upside down. For like notes and things on projects. And then like if I want to sketch something out, it also has blank paper in it. So I'm going to use this as my knitting journal, especially since I've been very fond of creating things without a pattern. If I want to go back, I should probably write all of this stuff down, but that's not how I work. I was like, oh, I could make this a pattern. You're cute, Danielle. You're really, really cute. It's just not gonna happen. It's just not. That's not how I operate. It's not how my brain works. And if I were to ever write a pattern, they'd probably be free, because I'd probably have to like update it and fix it constantly, just because my brain doesn't fully think through the directions. Does that make any sense? I don't know if I'm making sense. So I also picked up, because I also have 2 size 3 ChowGoos coming, because the Stephan West knits calls for a US 4, and this is their red lace circular on the 40-inch. I also got the 3s because I have yet, or like, I need to do a gauge swatch, because I'm not sure what's going to work best for that. I don't even know if he has the gauge in the pattern. I need to reread what he has out, if that makes sense. Just because I know that I can sometimes knit really loosely on a size 4 with fingering weight yarn. That's gonna go down there. And then, because I wanted more, these are ChowGoo US size 0 2mm on the 32-inch red lace, because I don't know, I just like making socks in this size of needle, because I like to barely be able to see my stitches. I don't know. I also will go and use like a size 1. I have my interchangeables that I use too. It just depends on who I'm making socks for. If I'm making them for myself, I like them a little tighter fitting. My husband likes them to be a little bit looser, so I'll do his on like a bigger needle. It just kind of depends. If I'm making them for me, making them for him, making them for somebody else, all of that. Okay. Now we're going to get into the ridiculousness of the yarns I ordered. So I ordered from Wool & Company. I will have them linked down below, just so you know where I got this yarn. I ordered a lot of yarn from them. I ordered a lot of yarn from Knit Picks. And I believe Monday, I'm gonna do a separate video on the other stuff I have coming. I ordered some stuff from the Crazy Sock Lady Co. because she had My Chemical Romance yarn and I was like, I need this in my life. So I picked it up because I need it, plus some other stuff. And then I also ordered some more from Knit Picks. I'm done ordering yarn. After this, and probably for quite a while, I will not be ordering yarn. I might be gifted yarn for my birthday or like stuff like that, and that might be a thing that I do. But I'm not going to be seeking out to purchase any more yarn because the amount of yarn I purchased is ridiculous, and I realize this. Not everyone can do this. I usually can't do this. So this is a huge splurge, and I mean huge splurge. I don't even want to think about how much money I spent on this yarn, but I was able to buy this yarn because I let my husband buy something super expensive. So the trade-off was I get to buy yarn. I did not spend as much as he did. He spent quite a bit, but he deserved it, so I deserve yarn. Okay, so the first one, now some of this, let me preface this with this. Some of this I ordered because I was having trouble deciding what I wanted to use for the Stephan West Mystery Knit Along. And so I kept going back and forth on what. So I just ordered a bunch of stuff. I also realized in my stash, I do not have a lot of solid colors or tonal colors. So I picked up a lot of that. I did also pick up some fun yarn and some yarns that I've been wanting to try that I have not had the opportunity to try. So the first one I have here, this is a Malabrigo sock yarn in Plomo. It's like a purpley blue. In all honesty, it reminds me of like blue jeans, but more purple, if that makes sense. But I saw this and I was like, oh, that might be a fun, I saw this and thought, oh, that might be a fun color choice. Maybe I'll go with that. I got it in person. I was like, no, but I think I'm going to, at some point, knit some muscle burrow hats because I've been wanting to, and I finally purchased the pattern. I don't know. I've been living under a rock. Haven't made those yet. So me having the pattern and tons of yarn to make as many muscle burrows as I want makes me feel like a real YouTube knitter. I don't know if anyone else feels that way, but that's how I feel. Then, and this is for that Calliope sweater. I like bright for myself. I have 6 skeins of this, but I will show you just one. This is, I ordered this from Knit Picks. The other I ordered from Wool & Company, but this is Hawthorne Fingering in Mississippi. It's 357 yards. I do not know why it just got brighter in here. Oh, there it goes again. It's 357 yards. I ordered 6 of them. I'm going to have leftovers. I know I'm going to have leftovers. That is totally fine. I will make something else out of the other yarn. I also, because that sweater calls for the brain, the word, gone. Pregnancy brain is killing me. What is it? Oh my gosh, I've never used this yarn either. What is it called? What is it called? What is it called? Oh my gosh, Danielle, just check your phone. Hold on. Check it. What is it? I ordered 6 skeins of drops, mohair and mohair, kid mohair, my goodness, to go with this. And I'm doing it in like the softest gray color I could find because I was like, I don't want it to be pink and I don't want it to be teal. I don't know, it was I don't know, it was just a thought. So yeah, I have 6 of those coming. It's probably too much, but I'll figure out something else for the rest of the mohair. I also have to decide what size sweater I'm making. I'm like, do I want it to fit me while I'm pregnant? But I'm also like, am I going to finish this year? Do I know what size I'm going to be? So I might make it slightly oversized or give it like more positive ease. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what I do. So yeah, I have 6 of these. The next one, oh goodness. The next pair of yarns is Stroll Fingering Weight from Knit Picks. This is in Train Station Tonal. I purchased this because I wasn't sure what was gonna go with that cardigan. I like the gray better, but as I said, I need more tonals, and I can totally use this to make socks, to use to make a hat, to kind of do whatever I want. I have 2 skeins of it, so yeah. I just was like, I should probably pick up some tonals and some solids, so I did. The next yarns, I'm going to grab what I am planning. I grabbed out of this box what I'm planning on using for the MKAL in October, the, what is it, Twist and Turns shawl by Stephan West. So I'm gonna show it to you, and then we'll talk about it. But this is what I'm going with. I saw this highlighter yellow color and I was like, I need it. So these two are Malabrigo sock in just black. I have not knitted with black yarn in something in a while, and I was like, you know what, let's go for it. Let's see if I'm gonna be able to see these stitches. And then for my contrast color, so that's gonna be my main color, this is gonna be my contrast, I went with another Malabrigo sock yarn, and this is in Pearl. So it's a very light gray, and I was like, that is so contrasting, it'll work. And then I bought a bunch of different shades of yarns, and I was like, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna use. Oh, let's figure this out. But I picked up some Madeline Tosh hand-dyed yarn, and this is in, it's their Merino Light, and it's Edison bulb. And I was just like, I love this. And I like that it's gonna be a pop, and it's not going to, I like that it's going to be a pop, and that it's not going to be like the whole shawl is not going to be like a highlighter color. So I'm happy with that. I thought this was fun. So that's what I went with for my shawl. Then, see, I almost used this as my color, and I do love this, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to make myself a muscle burrow hat out of this. And this is another Malabrigo sock yarn, and this is in Frank Ochre. And look at that. Isn't that like, it's almost the same color I'm wearing. Isn't that gorgeous? It's so pretty. It's just so pretty. I've been wanting to try this hand-dyed yarn for some time. It is La Bienne in May. And it's something I've wanted to try, and I was finally able to order some. I ordered 2 of these because I originally thought I might be using it in my shawl. It was an option, but I'm fine with having 2 of these because I can make pretty much whatever I want. And this is the color Sandstone. It is their merino singles, and it's just, I just can't wait to use this. Like, it's gorgeous yarn. Just like looking at it, it's absolutely stunning. I don't think I'm gonna make socks out of this. This might be a muscle burrow hat, or a couple, because I would be able to get multiple having 2 skeins in this color. Or I was even thinking just like a basic, really, really loose crocheted scarf. I don't know. We'll see what happens with this. The other color I got from this, because I saw this and I was like, I need that. Look at this. This is their merino singles in Julia. Just look at how pretty that is. I don't know what I'm making out of this. It is absolutely gorgeous. I had to have it. Had to have it. The next ones, or the next one, this is a very, very deep, almost kind of like burgundy red. It is another Malabrigo sock yarn in Cereza. Probably said that wrong. I apologize if it did, but it almost went for my shawl. Like, I could switch it out and change my mind, but I'm definitely wanting to use the Madeline Tosh highlighter color. I know it's called Edison Bulb, but I'm gonna call it a highlighter. But this is so pretty. Like, so pretty. It'd be beautiful socks. It'd be beautiful Christmas socks. Then I got another Malabrigo sock yarn in fuchsia because I was like, ooh, I could put pink in there. Literally because my main color and my contrast color are such just like basic colors. You could throw anything in there, and I love that. And this is in fuchsia. Did I already say that? Probably. Then, because I could not help myself when I saw this, I was like, I have to have this. It's actually a yarn I've looked at quite a few times. I just like how colorful and fun it is. And this is another Malabrigo sock yarn, and it's in Carnival. Carnival. Oh, it's so pretty. I don't know, can you guys see that? There you go. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I'm probably gonna make socks out of this, in all honesty. And probably some socks for my husband. I don't know. I don't know why that's screaming him, it just is. Then, we're gonna get into the basic colored yarn soon. Ugh. Then I ordered 3 yarns from Black Cat Fibers. Again, I got these off of Wool & Company, but I saw these and I was like, okay, these all scream Halloween and also me, but like, look at this. This is their Nomad sock base, 75/25 merino nylon, 463 yards, hand wash, cold, lay flat to dry, Helix Nebula. I don't know if it's gonna show very well, but it's black, orange, there's some green, some gorgeous blue. Oh, just, it's so pretty. So pretty. Part of me is like, I can make socks, I can make a muscle burrow. So many options. Then I saw this one, and this is Frankie's Demise. Look at, it's so pretty. I really want to make socks out of this one, so I think these are going to be socks at some point. I don't know when I'm casting these on. They might not get cast on for a while. And the next one I got is Rainbow in the Dark. I just love the name of this one. And it's not, I guess some people wouldn't call this Halloween-y, but like, I don't know. It called to me. They're so pretty. I just can't wait to play with all of the yarn. Then I went ahead, oh goodness, where is all my yarn? Then I went ahead and got some solid colors. They're all the same brand, so I'm just gonna pull them out one by one, show you the color. These are Cascade yarns. Yeah, Cascade yarns, Cascade 2020 fingering. So basic, nothing fancy. They are 100% Peruvian Highland wool, so they're a little bit more toothy. This is a dark navy blue. It's probably not going to show the greatest on camera, but it's a dark navy blue. It has 273 yards. I bought 200 grams of each, so I have 4 skeins. They come in 50 gram skeins. I don't know what I'm going to make out of this. I was just like, I need some solid colors, and I can use this as cuffs and socks, but I would not use it as like toes or like a heel, because it doesn't have any nylon in it, and it's not a good idea. But I also have other projects I can use solid colors for. Then I got it in this very, very pretty red color. Like, what it's showing on camera is what color this is. It's so pretty. And these, Seattle, these just have color numbers, and this one's 9404, so, you know, that. Then I went for a chocolate brown. I don't know if it's gonna show, but it's like, it's a like deep dark chocolate brown. So same kind of thing. And then, oh, I forgot that I did not. I have one more. So this is Heritage, and this is a gray. This was another option I was thinking for the MKAL. I was also thinking maybe I could use this in the cardigan I'm making, but I actually like the tonal better. I don't know. But this is Heritage yarn, 75% superwash merino wool, 25% nylon, and this is color number 575. 3. There's 437 yards in each, and this I could definitely use when I'm making socks as like heels, cuffs, toes, all of that. But that is the end of yarn haul number 1. I told you I purchased a ton of yarn, but I am super excited about everything coming up in my life, all of the projects I want to create. I'm feeling very, very creative right now, which is a lot of fun. Again, I will have my Ravelry link down below, so if you see that I started another project, cast something else on, because that's always a possibility, because I don't have enough going on. Or you just want to look at what I've added to my yarn stash, because I'm going to be slowly doing that. I have a ton of yarn. I have yarn over here. There's a closet back here that has a shelf full of yarn. There's 2 totes full of yarn, and I'm getting more. I have nothing to say about how much yarn I have, but it's going to be enough to get me through like the next year, because I'm not really planning on purchasing a ton of yarn. I have yarn, I can make things. That's kind of my mindset right now, and I actually want to see how many skeins of yarn I can get through in a year. We'll see. We'll see if I hold myself to that challenge. But I'm super excited to be back. When I get my next shipment of yarn, my final shipment, I will probably do another video just so that you guys can see what I've picked up, what I've purchased, what else is in my stash, and just to kind of talk about yarn, because I don't really have anyone else in my life to talk about yarn, and I absolutely love talking. I don't really have anyone else in my life to talk about yarn, and I absolutely love talking about yarn, so I will probably post that video. But yeah, I am super excited to be back, super excited to be podcasting again. I feel really good about doing at least 1 video a month, maybe 2. I'm not gonna hold myself to a specific schedule. I'm just going to do my best, and these videos are probably going to be at least an hour long, so you can always kind of just like sit and hang out with me. Let me know what you think about what I'm working on and things like that. Well, thank you guys so much for sitting through this, even with my crazy lighting that keeps changing. I cannot wait until I get my my studio bulbs for my lights, because that will help tremendously. But yeah, I hope that you guys have a great day, night, wherever you are in the world. Let me know what you're working on down in the comments below. I would love to hear about your projects. Let me know what your Ravelry name is, and I will go on there, add you, look at your projects, stuff like that. So yeah, I'm just happy to be back in the yarn community. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you in another video. Bye.